Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. I hope you guys are doing well today. Double-sided watches are something that collectors are obviously really drawn to. I think the rarity of these watches are what make them so special, and that is why a lot of collectors are out there searching for double-sided watches by obviously the watch company that manufactured the watch, as well as the jeweler that retailed that piece. And so very common retailers that sign dials are companies like Tiffany & Co. Tiffany & Co is a very common one. Turler is another very common one. Gobi, Frachero, those are retailers that have sold a lot of very important pieces in lines like Rolex and Patek Philippe and they sign those watches before they kind of sell those onto their new people. But there are some smaller retailers that are no longer in existence but did sign the dials of the watches that they sold. And what we're going to be talking about today is a Universal Genève that we have sourced for our website that was signed by a London-based jeweler called JW Benson. This is a really beautiful watch that we have the pleasure to find and are really excited to have on our website. Like I said, it's signed by jeweler JW Benson. And so what we're going to be doing is giving you guys a close-up of this watch so you can take a look at it. It's a really beautiful watch from just after World War II and really has that tool appeal to it. And I think the thing that really captures your eye besides the double signature is the really beautiful blue hands of this watch. And so what I'm going to be doing is kind of giving you some information about this watch. I'll go into the history of JW Benson a little bit and give you guys a close-up of this really beautiful watch. But before we do that, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and don't forget to smash a like button during this video if you enjoy these types of videos. This watch, like I said, is on our website, so you can check it out there. There's a little bit more information and some videos or some pictures that you can see. And so without further ado, let me switch perspectives so you can take a look at this watch. All right, so let's take a look at this Universal Genève that we sourced for our website. It's a really beautiful watch with some really cool patina on it, but the biggest draw to this watch is the double signed JW Benson dial that this watch features. Just to give you guys a little bit of information about this watch, so I can kind of give you guys a close-up here. This watch, like I said, was manufactured by Universal Genève. And this watch was produced according to the serial number on the back. It was produced in 1945, which is just after the end of World War II. And I think this watch definitely has that tool watch appeal that a lot of people have found in watches from that era. The watch itself measures 35 millimeters in diameter and has a lug width of 16 millimeters. This is a 16 millimeter blue leather strap, and it is a manual wind watch that has hours and minutes as the complications on this watch. And so one of the big draws to this watch, I think, is these really beautiful blued hands that you see on this dial. You can see the blue kind of shimmering in the light there, and I think the way that this watch is kind of the blued hands and the contrast with this blue strap really does bring out some real beauty on this piece. You can obviously see some patina on this dial, and it's slowly fading to almost like a cream color. But I think the biggest thing and the biggest draw of this watch is going to have to do with the dial itself. Stainless steel case, but the dial is exactly what the draw for this watch is going to be. And so you can see at the top by 12 o'clock, you can see Universal Genève has signed this piece. But at 6 o'clock, you see a very important signature that was signed by JW Benson London, which is a retailer based in London that had a very big relationship with Universal Genève watches. And so what we'll do now is kind of give you guys a little bit of information about JW Benson. So JW Benson was a retailer, was a watchmaker, and he partnered with an individual named Samuel Suckley Benson. And JW stands for James William, and they created SS and JW Benson in 1847. Most of the time they focused on the manufacturing of watch movements, but they also did a lot when it comes to the retail side of things. The partnership was dissolved in 1855, and that's kind of when JW Benson started as a brand. It didn't include Samuel Suckley. And so in 1855 is kind of the founding of this signature, but the brand has been around for much longer than that. JW Benson, like I said, focused a lot on the manufacturing side of the company, which meant they were manufacturing watch movements. But because of World War II, they had to kind of shut down that manufacturing side of the business, and then they ended up focusing on the retail side of things. And they retailed watches for many different companies, including Universal Genève, Longines, Revue, and Sima and Tabes. Obviously what they did with some of their pieces is they signed the dials of those watches. And so this is an example of one of those pieces that they retailed. So what's really interesting about this watch is to think about kind of the history of it. 1945, so just after World War II. And this watch was manufactured in Switzerland and then sold in London. I think that's a really interesting kind of thing to think about when you have this watch in your possession, that this was in London. The JW Benson as a brand, unfortunately, kind of was discontinued in 1973 because it was sold to a larger UK jeweler. And so finding watches that have that double signature with JW Benson is a lot rarer than finding maybe Tiffany ones, which you can find some modern Tiffany pieces. So the reason why I really love this watch is, one, I think it really has a tooly feel to it. You can see these beautifully applied hour numbers and indicators, and this very simple stainless steel case with a very simple white dial, hours and minutes. It really does remind you of kind of that military style, as well as the kind of post-World War II feel to a lot of the watches that were produced during that time. The other thing I obviously like is the fact that the dial is signed by JW Benson. I think double-signed watches are rare. They're important to watch collectors and hard to find. And something like this with a jeweler that isn't really around anymore makes it even more rare. And so collecting this piece would be a very nice rare addition to someone's collection. The other thing I really like about this watch is, right now I'm wearing this really beautiful Longines, but it fits my wrist really, really nicely. This is like a true vintage piece, and just reminds me of the value that you can get. Something so rare and something so simple can really be not as expensive as some other pieces that you can find. I think this is like the perfect entry into collecting rare vintage watches. I think that's kind of why it really stood out to me as a piece, and we're so honored to have it on our website. Another thing that's really nice about this watch is drilled lug holes. They make it very easy to switch the strap out on this piece, and so another really cool kind of feature on this. In this kind of shot here, you can obviously I have this NATO strap here. Unfortunately, this NATO is not 16 millimeters, but I think this piece would actually look really, really beautiful on a NATO strap. So if you have a piece like this, or you end up acquiring this piece, grab a NATO, because I think this is like the perfect watch to have on a NATO. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at this Universal Genève double-signed watch from JW Benson as well. Like I said, this piece is available in our store, so be sure to check it out in our shop. We've got some more pictures there if you'd like to check those out. And happy to answer any questions about this watch you have. Let me know what you think about in the comments of this piece. I think it is a really unique and rare piece that you can have, and really is a definition of vintage. So be sure to let us know what you think in the comment section below. And so what we'll do is we'll switch perspectives so we can close up this video. Cool, so I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at this really beautiful Universal Genève JW Benson watch. It's a really beautiful piece, and I've really enjoyed wearing it just personally. I think it really does show what post World War II watches really look like, and also the type of beauty that you can find on double-sided watches, especially if you're looking for something that's a little bit more rare, not something that you're going to see on everyone's watch. It's definitely going to be a piece that you can talk about and enjoy on your wrist. So if you are interested in this piece, let us know, and we can give you some more information on this. Let us know in the comment section below what you think about this piece as well. Love to hear your thoughts. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to hit the subscribe button so that you can be so you can follow along our channel. Also, don't forget to check us out on social media, as well as check out our website where we have blog posts on all the videos that we've created. And also, if you did not do it in the beginning of the video, be sure to smash that like button for us. It really does help us out. And with this said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.